Welcome to another episode of the Coffee Conversation Show, powered by the Emerging India Forum, TEIF, and our tech partner, Prime Infotech Solution. Today's series is The Emerging Lawyer, and theme is The Art of Dispute Resolution, exploring the multifaceted career of dispute resolution specialist. Friends, we have with us Nitin Kushwaha, who is a legal consultant and dispute resolution specialist at BYJU'S. Nitin brings a wealth of experience in navigating complex legal landscapes to the table, leveraging his experience in contract drafting, arbitration, and litigation support. So, Nitin, welcome to today's Coffee Conversation episode. And it's Saturday. It will be a lovely conversation with a dispute resolution. Just wanted to explain you the format. We have three rounds:
Correct.
professional, personal, and a surprise rapid fire round. So
Sure.
you answer those questions wittily, funnily, and quickly. You get to win this ebook authored by me, which will be delivered to your place. So,
Thank you.
are you ready?
Yes, yes, yes.
So let's. Okay. So, Nitin, my first question in your professional journey is your journey as a legal professional, right from the starting days of completing your legal degree and coming till date at BYJU'S.
Yeah, so it all started with an aspiration. Actually, I didn't want to become a lawyer. I wanted to become a businessman. So when I was in my 12th standard, I thought I'll do BBA and I had given certain entrances as well. And thereafter, then I thought I'll do law and that will act as an aid for my business. But later on, I went to I took admission in Kerry Law College after I started reading, and then I got more interested in practice of law rather than having my aspirations to become a businessman. And the conducive environment at college and thereafter internship shaped the whole uh, career and currently where I'm working at.
Wow. So, Nitin, what does the day look like at Byju's? What are the actions you have to cater to?
The work is across a spectrum. So it pertaining to your labor disputes, pertaining to your consumer disputes, from arbitration, commercial litigation, recovery matters, then general advisories. So you never know when you work in such a big organization what where your assistance may be sought. So that and as a lawyer, we don't have any timelines as such. So it all depends upon when a query is there and how we can resolve it. So it's 24 into 7 job. And I would not say that there is some fixed timelines, but yeah, across spectrums, we get the work and we have to advise them and get things in place.
Wow. So, Nitin, I'm a little curious, and the viewers also, what is a dispute resolution role all about?
So, when we work with respect to corporate entities, so here the aspect is not to litigate. The
Mhm.
whole concept is to mitigate. So we have to get at a point wherein we can help our client or the organization to mitigate the losses because every organization considered a legal expenses which are incurred as an outgoing cost. And also the other aspect and the wider aspect is of the goodwill. So when any organization gets into a dispute or it is in news, that becomes a disadvantageous position for them. So, a person like me who is a dispute resolution consultant or a specialist, so we have to see that how we can mitigate and let our organization function in a smooth manner where they can run the business.
Wow.
So
So,
it
Nitin,
becomes a
I'm sorry.
role of a business advisor as well as a legal consultant to have to strike a balance so that both the issues are at a balance.
Interesting. Beautifully you explained the role of dispute resolution K. He should be a mediation expert. That is beautifully explained. Not go
Yes,
for
that's
litigation.
that's part of the job.
Yes. So now continue conversation. You have an extensive experience in contract drafting and negotiation. So Nitin, what strategies do you employ to ensure that agreements are comprehensive and legally sound?
So, whenever we have a contract in place, so it all starts with an offer and a proposal from either of the party that either our entity can be interested or the other side can be interested. So we have to see what are the business requirements at first place, and thereafter it cannot be like highway or my way. So it has to reach at a consensus wherein it is helpful for both the parties. Now, uh, generally, our assistance is sought when it is pertaining to your dispute resolutions. So when there is a contract, it is ideal condition that nothing will go wrong, but that's the ideal condition. But it does not happen in that manner. So we have to see that there could be multi-level dispute resolution system through which the B2B engagement is not hampered and the relationship goes on. So when we are negotiating, we have to accommodate certain their requirements, certain our requirements, and come to a consensus and have an agreement, which can help both the parties to run the and have an engagement which is useful for both of them in a long term manner.
Interesting, interesting. So, uh, Nitin, can you share some challenging negotiation experience you had and how did you reach to a successful outcome?
So that's what earlier I was telling. So we were working on a contract and that was pertaining to an IP engagement. Now, when somebody creates a idea and that is already in place, that is also protected, and you need I mean, you are in requirement of that. So the quotation which were given to us was very on a very higher scale, which was not feasible for our client. And during that process, we learned that slowly, if you try to break the issues, it will become convenient. And alternatively, you also have to offer certain things to the other side, which could be commercially benefited because everybody here is to do the business. So that was one of the instances. And in day-to-day, I mean, operations, that things come. So uh, that's what I was telling. It cannot be just your way. When you are having a negotiation, you have to accommodate the other side as well and see that how commercially you can get the benefit out of any negotiation or when you are strategizing or having an engagement with the other party.
Interesting. Now, continuing conversation, Nitin, you have been a visiting lecturer at KLE Society's Law College. Uh,
Yes.
what insights do you provide to students and your experience from the corporate world which you bring about? So, what areas do you focus during your teaching so they become, what do you say, enabled, as you say, na, from campus to corporate? So, what kind of
Correct,
role
correct.
do you
So
play?
yeah, so that's the whole idea. So I was invited 3 years back by one of my professors who had taught me arbitration. And since I have graduated from that college, so I had obviously I wanted to contribute to that institution who had contributed for my career aspirations. So it started during COVID. I did my virtual lectures, and thereafter I started going to give the lectures. And the idea was because the subject matter is now evolving. Every organization has a dispute resolution mechanism. And especially when we talk from the business perspective, arbitration has become a mode of alternate dispute resolution. So, uh, with respect to Kaylee, you have the advantage that you have students across India from, I think, from all the states. And when I take the lectures, so it's not just the theoretical part which we read. So what I will explain them my first-hand experiences with the clients or with the organization I'm working with. So that makes the whole process more easier for them to understand because that is not a because the whole arbitration proceedings are confidential. It's not like the court where you can go and see and have an idea. Here it's all opaque, so it's very confidential. They cannot have the access. So you have to give an imaginary overview of the subject and then create a correlation and then help the students to understand the subject better way, in a better way.
Impressive, impressive. So, Nitin, I went through your profile. You've been a trainer at Arbitration Tribunal, sorry. Uh, so, what got excited to you being a trainer and how was the experience?
So it was good. It all started because I am very inclined towards ADR, and I wanted, apart from my professional aspirations, which I'm already doing, I wanted this field to grow, and I wanted students or the professionals to know about the area which I'm practicing in. And every time I take lecture or train people, out of I mean, five, six are coming out and saying that I'm interested in this field because it's lucrative, it's easy to understand, and it helps the organizations, and they have more career aspiration when it comes to the area segment.
Okay. So, Nitin, let's recap a memorable case or project you have worked on during your career and what were the lessons you learned from it?
So it's very interesting. So what had happened? It was my first year of practice, and I was then working with nationally recognized law firm Hammurabi and Solomon. And post that, I had taken a break and I joined another law firm. And I was assisting one of the former clients of that firm, and there was a employee who was in a D grade, and the person has referred that matter to me. So what had happened in that matter? His certain amount after retirement was stuck, and he was not able to get it. And he was a very, I mean, he was from a marginalized section economically and otherwise. And we contested his matter. We got his relief. We got his money disbursed. And post that, his eyes was all teary, and he was like, "You're God to me." And I was just in my first or second year of the practice, and the way he hugged and showed that, then I understood the profession, what the profession I'm in. It's not just the commercial aspect, it is called noble for a reason. So that was one of the very touching incident. Otherwise, there was a matter where I was arguing the matter, and it was against the senior counsel there, and we could get I got a favorable order in that matter, and he actually appreciated the effort, saying that you have researched well and you have worked well. Let's see what is the order, but you did good. And eventually we got the order as well. We received the appreciation from the court as well, that it was very meticulous and flawless. So that was these are the two incidences which has built a confidence in me to proceed further.
Impressive, impressive. Now, coming to my next question, how do you approach team management and leadership, particularly in overseeing a large team of lawyers at BYJU'S?
So it's always there. See, I'm a very young person. There are people who have the expertise, or they are in the field more than 20 years, 25 years. So the only way any person or any professional who wants to thrive is to accept things, and you don't have to always fight on a matter. And if you have a genuine thing, if you have researched on it, or if you want to convince someone, then show them the text that these are the things, and that this could be the way we can work on. So it's not a competition rather than a cooperation. So when you have that sense of cooperation, you can definitely work with anyone for that matter. So that's how it's working on, and I am managing team across India for Byju's, from Jammu to your the I mean southern part till Tamil Nadu, east to west, whole central India. So that's how it is working, and it is working very flawlessly so far.
Interesting, interesting. Uh, so now, Nitin, uh, let's come to technology. Uh, Technology plays a very important role in a legal professional. So how has that impacted you and which legal tools you have used in your career?
So as a matter of fact, it is evolving, and it is making the process much more easier. And the younger professionals like me are catching it up. And the difficulty is generally faced by the lawyers who are not very tech savvy or not even trying to go in that aspect. So, when I see lawyers who are working traditionally, they refer the books to get the case laws. Now, researching has become a job of 5-10 minutes. There are search engines like Manupatra, SCC, Westlaw, and other. So that makes your whole job very easier. Now you have legal portals such as Live Law, Bar and Bench. So you every day you can get the update. So the information, the flow of information has been made easier by technology itself. Now, when we see uh, the courts in Delhi or I mean high courts across India, Supreme Court, these are working virtually. Now, person sitting in South India, earlier it was a problem that commutation was a problem. Now it is working on a hybrid mode. So if you want to, I mean, appear before the court, you can do that virtually. And now it is coming to the lower judiciaries as well. So that's the technology which is helping. Now filings are done, I mean, technologically. When it comes to contracts, the execution of contracts are getting executed through technology. So that is making the job much more easier, and it will help the legal profession in a better way.
My next question about the legal tech tool which you have used and that's helped you.
Legal tool, because that's what I was like, for us as a dispute resolution consultants, we have like Webex, which is used by the courts, so for making our appearances. Then we have a certain software where we upload, that is the portal of the courts itself, where we upload our documents and other things. And with respect to contract management, we had few softwares, because that is not my area of co-working. So there are few which I used to work earlier, but yes, these I mean, with respect to disputes we have, but with respect to contract management and all, I do not. I have not explored much.
Okay, fine. Uh, okay. Now, who has influenced you from the legal world and whom do you follow?
So it was my father. So he was a practitioner at Satna District Court, and earlier, as I said, that I did not want to become a lawyer, but eventually, when I started observing him, I did my law. And that's how our relation also started to build, because a lawyer connects more with a lawyer. So gradually, but unfortunately, during COVID, he passed away, and I could never get a chance to actually work with him. And but I have learned the ethics from him and learning law by the practice. So he was the one who I admire. And when it comes to the profession, it's Arvind Datar, Falias Nariman. These are my, I mean, I consider them as my ideals, that I mean, one should aspire to become a learned like these people.
Very true, very true. Uh, Now, what are the skill sets required, according to you, to be a successful dispute resolution specialist? This is for upcoming who wants to join field to become a dispute resolution specialist.
So the very first thing anyone who would like to become has to read across spectrums. I mean, you cannot have a set area where you read. You have to read, I mean, everything, not just the law, but everything which comes to a plate, or comes to a knowledge or information. You have to read it and try to relate it with law. Everything is in relation to law. Even your walking is subject to law. That will have some relevance to some law. So you can start connecting, and then I mean, read and connect uh, the physical, I mean, your aspects with law. Secondly, you have to write. These are the two things. So you have to read and then write. And it has to start from the first year of your law school. When you, I mean, enter the law school, you have to keep writing. When you keep practicing, it gets better and better. And thirdly, when you do these two things, you have to join some office or have in connect with the professionals who are already working, so that you can get the insights. So that will make you whole job much more easier. Like from third year, I had started to work as a paralegal. So I got an understanding that how this profession or the industry works. And now, like you had asked me that how you are able to manage the team. So that confidence or that understanding that what is required from a lawyer and how you have to treat your juniors or seniors, that comes from that experience. So first reading, writing, and then being associated with some firm. and gradually you will get the grasp of it with the practice. It's a lifelong process, so it will become a practice and you will get better over a period of time.
Wow. Very true. Very true. So, Nitin, what are your aspiration goals for your career in the legal field?
So since we are already working pan India and we have a team, so the aspiration is to have our own law firm, which is already in pipeline, wherein we will try to cater other corporates as well across India. We have very formidable team of across, I mean, more than 100 lawyers. So that's the aspiration, and probably next time when we will meet, you will get to see that as well.
So my best wishes, Nitin. You will have a law firm. Okay. Okay. So now we come to the next round. That is the
Yes.
personal round. So Nitin, tell us something about your family and your growing up years.
So I was not, I mean, I live in a joint family. I'm really proud of it. So we have, I mean, a whole family here back in Satna, and it's very supportive. So my, and otherwise, we in a joint family we have, I mean, people from different, I mean, backgrounds, professional or business background. So it also helps as a lawyer to understand different industries in a better way. And childhood, I was not such a brilliant brilliant student. So my family, especially for me, was very concerned that what this person will do, since my father was also a lawyer. So they had this aspiration that he's a son of a lawyer and he always engages in sports and other activities. So but time changes and you get serious with time, and that's how now I have become a lawyer, and I think I'm doing fairly good as well.
Okay. So let's go to your college life.
Yeah.
What, how was it at KLE Law College, and whom were you, which professor impacted you?
Okay. So in general, KLE Law College, I think, is one of the best law colleges in India, and it is competing with all the top law universities and law colleges, private law colleges. And the biggest advantage you have at KLE that you get flexibility, you get support from the institution, especially the principal we have, and he has been a formidable force for that institution. And moreover, for me, there are two professors I always tell to wherever I give lectures or I talk about. So that's Manoj sir, who was actually taught us ADR. He's a constitutional law expert as well. So he was the one of the I mean, a guiding force throughout. Even today, I consider him as a mentor. Then we have Anu ma'am. She used to take business subjects for us. And since I came from a very small town from Madhya Pradesh and going to Bangalore and studying, I was very underconfident student. But gradually, I used to get my notes corrected from her and take insights, and that's how my confidence built up. I was not able to speak the way I'm speaking to you now. I could easily get blank. I could not reciprocate to the situation, and she molded me in that manner. I'm always grateful for my institution, principal, and my both the mentors.
Wow, touching. So, Nitin, how do you unwind after a busy day working with as a dispute resolution specialist? So much pressure you are handling. So coming home, so what do you do?
So I would generally, since I currently am in at Satna, so I would generally post my work. I'll go have dinner with my mother. I'll meet my family members. There are kids around, so I would just have some time with them, like they're my cousins. Otherwise, I also take care of my fitness. So my 1.5 hour is dedicated to the gym and workout or any other sports activity which I have. So that's the way out I can release my pressure, and because otherwise it's a job which requires you for 24 into 7. So that's the way out. I think 2 hours, 2.5 hours I get it for myself, and that's how I try to. That these are my stress buster. Also, I like cooking, so I prepare my own meal. So that's also a stress buster. So I think everyone should have that so that it releases your stress and
So
refreshes you.
coming to cooking, I'm a foodie. So please tell me which cuisines you prepare, and I would like to come and have it.
Sure, I generally cook Indian cuisine itself. I mean, and few of the Korean like shakshuka is one of my favorite. It is made out of egg, and otherwise, when it comes to vegetarian food, you can just tell me anything on paneer or chole and all that. I can cook anything for that matter. I just have to see
Wow.
the recipe and I can create it.
Wow. So your wife will be very relaxed. Okay. Uh, so any books or movies that has made a profound impact on you?
I think it is Courtroom Genius. That was again written by Arvind Dattar, and it is on one of the stalwarts of our profession, Nani Palkiwala. So when I was in first year, one of my senior, with whom I worked at Supreme Court as well, so he had given me that book, and that book is still I have, and that I think any law student who starts his law school should read that book. It's very inspiring, and story of Nani Palkiwala, the one earlier when he started his profession, he had a problem of stammering, and he had gone through a lot of things, and then became someone who really changed the landscape of constitution. So that is one of my books I always keep reading, and I keep reading about Nani Palkiwala as well.
Wow, that's interesting. So Nitin, uh, anything in your bucket list for 2024 which you want to do?
2024. I just want to get better with my work. I mean, there are certain aspects, I mean, an area of practice where I'm trying to venture in. So I'm trying to get my hold on those subjects, and also trying to have much better expertise. So, and also I'm trying to get certain accreditations with respect to arbitration and mediation. So these are aspirations which I'm trying to cover up by end of the year.
That is professional side. What about personal side? Any place, anything, any hobbies you want to take up?
Yes, I have planned a trip for Northeast by end of this year. Probably I'll do it in my winter vacations. I'm trying to cover all the, I mean, Northeast Meghalaya, Mizoram, and Assam, and all these areas. So these one of the I am fond of traveling. So far, I have covered across 16 states in India. So yes, across 16 states I have covered.
Wow,
Yeah,
that is
I
an
like
interesting
traveling.
facet of yours. So you should write a travel log, Nitin.
Yes, yes, definitely.
Okay. Nitin, my next question, what are some causes or social causes that you're passionate about outside of your legal work?
Education. Education is one of the primary cause, and that was another reason to join BYJU'S because it actually
Yes.
revolutionized the whole mechanism of studying. Which because I would tell you very honestly that I was not a very good student of math. So when I saw one of the clippings of Pythagoras theorem, which I just tried to by heart and write it in the exam. And when I studied from there, oh my God, it changed the whole perspective about learning the maths. And other subject I read was on photosynthesis. The way it was showing through animations and other things, it is still registered in my mind. So that was one of the reasons I had joined BYJU'S as well. And yes, education is the cause. I mean, that's why I take lectures. I try to create the awareness about the education.
Wow, interesting. So, my last question, Nitin. It's on Nitin.
Yes.
Describe Nitin in one line.
Mm. Resilient.
Wow, perfect, perfect. So, friends, this is the two rounds, professional, personal. Now we come to the surprise, that is the rapid fire round. So, Nitin, you have to answer quickly, wittily,
Yes.
funnily, and you'll get your gift. Are you a morning or night person?
Morning. Now I'm a morning person.
Okay. Tea or coffee?
Coffee. Black.
Let's toast it. Fiction or non-fiction book?
Fiction.
Okay. Your favorite cuisine?
Indian.
Which one? Which dish?
Shahi paneer I would go for.
Oh, very interesting. Okay. One thing you can't live without.
Books.
Wow. Okay. Your dream travel destination place.
Rome.
Wow. So you answered, man, good question.
Thank you so much.
So, friends, this was a lovely conversation we had with Nitin Kushwaha. And anything on dispute resolution, please watch this episode. He has shared the skill sets, what are the key areas to work in, and to work with a team, a large team. And he has got different experience. And he's so passionate about education. That's why he is at Baiju. So, hats off. Keep that passion burning alive, Nitin. And you
Thank
will
you.
be part of bigger things to come in. We'll meet when you have formed your own firm and meet at your favorite dream destination in the room and have coffee. But I'll invite you
Yeah.
whenever in Mumbai. Please do
Thank
come
you.
down and
And
have
one
coffee
last thing,
together.
I would like to express my gratitude to the AVP and the founders of Byju's as well. Sunita Krishnan, she's my VP. And I remember because I just worked for 1.5 year, and then joined the Byju's, and she gave the complete free hand as a lawyer. And that is the also reason I have this confidence that I can actually cater to the needs which is offered. So I'm always grateful to the top management as well as the VP Sunita Krishnan. She is absolutely. I think I learned the managerial skills from her. I think she had handled the teams of more than 500, 600 people. So that's how you learn from the organizations as well, that how you can manage. So probably managing 110 lawyers, but she had that vast experience and the mediation skills and the other skills. I had learned a lot from her as well. And really grateful for her to have, she had me in her team, and we are now working together in that attorney and client relationship, but it's working really well. So I forgot to mention about her, but I think I would be always grateful to her as well when we are talking about the mentors. So that's the addition to that.
Thank you. Thank you. So, friends, do subscribe to the Coffee Conversation Show. Click on the bell icon and watch this episode with Nitin Kushwaha. There are other different episodes available on different series. This is the lawyer series. There are cybersec working professional with entrepreneurs, Sri Shakti, student, 100 plus more episodes. So you get to learn from different subject experts, and you want to be a guest speaker, connect with our team, visit our website, the Emerging India Forum. So Nitin, it was a lovely conversation, and we keep coming back to
Likewise.
you to have more conversation. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.